Hey guys, and welcome back to the ESL Heroes Summer Regional number 2, Qualifier number 1, where we are ready for our final match of the day, our qualifying match between Naventic and Cloud9.
Did you swap mics on me?
What? No?
Did you swap mics on me? You sound like you're like infinitely louder than you were before. I don't know why.
Sorry? You're the one who dropped the call.
Don't blame me.
Can you turn my Skype down?
I mean, I got it at like 2%, and you're still like screaming in my ear.
It doesn't
Fucking fly.
It doesn't show that I am like overly loud on OBS.
Okay, well, let's roll with it.
Do you want me to try turning my mic down?
Nope.
Okay.
I do not.
Oh, I thought draft was ready. It's not. I'm going to go back to cams. So, guys, we are down to 2 streams. We will be covering the qualification match between Cloud9 and Naventic. Meanwhile, over on Solid Jake GG's channel, you will be covering Cognitive versus Panda Global. I believe that match already started, too. So we'll try to keep you updated here as how that goes. Just a brief update on how this tournament is going to go down. There will be 4 qualifiers, and the final one will be a last chance qualifier where people are invited. It's the top 8 teams that haven't qualified yet based on points that you can earn through the first 3 qualifiers. So 8 total teams that will go to that second regionals, and then of course at that second regionals, 1 team, the winning team, will qualify to go to the global championship in Sweden.
Yeah! And that is essentially the worlds like similar to what MVP Black just won in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And they're shifting it around the world as they want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to get to go to one of these global events, whether you're a fan or a player, an employee. Just spreading the love. We have the draft begun, Gilly. Cloud9 with the first pick, first ban. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Yep. They're going to go ahead and deny the Li Ming. Naventic going to deny the Zool.
And Cloud9 pick up Kael'thas for their first pick. Naventic looking at Thrall. I think in the last game they did Tassadar and Thrall. Of course that was on Sky Temple, so a little bit different, but they might do it again.
There's Tassadar. There's the Thrall.
Alright.
Which McIntyre's Thrall was sick that last game.
Mm-hmm.
Like a legend. Cloud9 with Kael'thas. Would not be surprised if they pick Sylvanas this rotation. As Sylva's just so good on this map.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of value with your web weavers because of her. But do they want to pick a warrior or a support with it? Knowing Cloud9, they love Murden, right? I mean,
yes.
It's not because King Caffeine's like, small hero pool can only play Murden. It's just they really, really value Murden. As his impact in the game is just, if played right, the best out of all the warriors.
Sorry guys, still checking on the sound issues, but trying to keep track of it. I've got somebody in chat who will keep me posted, so we'll make sure that it is good for this final set. Cloud9 dipping into that time pool quite a bit to try to figure out who they want for these last 2 picks. Rhaegar and potentially Sonya here. They won't have the Tassadar-Sonya combo, but still very good support to keep Sonya in the game, brawling. And between Sonya and Kael'thas, they already have some good lockdown for heroes.
First ban here for Naventic. Probably going to want to deny a warrior. Knowing Naventic, they really like playing ETC.
Mm-hmm.
Zuna, big fan of that hero. We've seen him make sick plays, bolts, mosh pits, really well placed. Secures his team a lot of kills that way. So will we see that Murden ban? Or will we see something else from them? If they do ban the Murden, they risk the chance of Cloud9 banning ETC, putting both teams on warriors they might not want to play. Though Zuno's already shown that he's very comfortable on a lot of warriors. We've seen him play Tyrael, Joanna, Murden, ETC, Leoric.
Oh, they're going to actually ban ETC.
And then Cloud9 going to ban Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
I like this Ronda ban, knowing that Naventic's picking up Murden.
Yeah, exactly. I love that too. And Murden will quickly be grabbed, but the next hero, not as sure on. They probably will still want another support of some kind, but they could leave that till last, as Rhaegar has already been picked up by Cloud9. And there is the Sylvanas. Love that pick.
Yeah, this is a really good comp for Naventic on this map. Great push, great damage, great survivability. It doesn't even matter what the support's going to be. More than likely it will be Uther. But Naventic's got a great comp. Cloud9 with their last 2 picks. Need a warrior. I need one more damage dealer. Will it be Vala? Maybe Vala Joanna here? I don't see them running anything else. Although I forgot about Falstad. Sometimes he makes it through drafts, kind of forget about him a bit with the change to Gus. He's fallen off a little bit. He was probably S tier last patch and gone down quite a bit. It's crazy what 20 seconds to a heroic can do.
Right?
So that was the only change to him, and he's fallen off considerably. So it'll be K1 Pro on Falstad, Arthelon, and Kael Thos, so played by iDream. What is the warrior King Caffeine will be playing? And it will be the Joanna, which makes sense on this map, especially with how the bans are. This comp is, even with the Sonya, it doesn't make sense to run Tyrael here, especially on this map. Joanna has the rotations. There's a lot of CC on the end of Naventic between the Thrall and the Murden, so Iron Skin going to help out a lot, especially if Naventic's going to go Uther as well. Joanna, really good here. Blind's helping out a lot as well.
All right, the support pick for Naventic. They already have Tassadar for part of that, so if they wanted to go for a hero known for not having as much support, they could do that. They're looking at Kharazim right now. They have a lot of mobility with him. And that is their choice.
Interesting decision on the Kharazim. Curious if we'll see seven-sided again. We saw Naventic running early today.
Yeah, I mean...
And if you isolate any of these heroes, seven-sided can do a lot of damage.
It's a good potential that they could catch Sonya out, as she often walks the line between being in the right spot and overextended because she needs to be in there brawling. So there are your 2 compositions, guys, for Tomb of the Spider Queen. Loving having Sylvanas on these. If Naventic can get a couple of really clutch turn-ins, they could, even with like a first one, it makes getting a 4 much more likely with the first early turn-in than before. Is there a fly just tilting you?
Dude, it's... When my computer crashed, I went outside because the package got delivered. It was my 2 cases of SpaghettiOs. And when my door was opened, I let a fly in. And it is just infinitely tilting me right now. Like, infinitely.
Of all the rooms in that house, the fly has decided to grace you with its presence. Don't you feel lucky from that?
Yes. It must have, but KO did this on purpose, probably. he set this up. The jerk. All right, guys, we're loading into game number 1. This is a qualifying match. Winner of this is the first team that qualifies for ESL Studios Burbank's Summer Regionals number 2. I know that's not actually the title of the tournament, but that's the way I phrased it. And loser will have to play next week, Sunday, the 1st. So we'll figure out how that set's going to play out here as we're loading into Tomb of the Spider Queen for game number 1. And I got to tell you, Gilly, really like Naventic's draft.
I like it a lot, too. Now, the amount of Sylvanas that we have seen be able to take out things that normally you would not get from an early Webweaver phase, or a Webweaver phase where your spiders are pushing or starting at earlier on, it's insane. It's incredible.
There we go on the left-hand side of the map in the blue trunks. It's going to be Team Naventic. Zuna on Murden, big impact on Sylvanas, McIntyre on Thrall, Fan playing Tassadar, and Kenma rounding out the team on Kharazim.
And in the red, Cloud9 with King Caffeine playing Johanna, Arthelon on Kael Thos, Dunk Train playing Rhaegar, K1 Pro playing Falstad, In the bottom, iDream will be playing Sonya.
King Caffeine looks cool. Look at that style.
Extreme style points for sure.
Take a look at the talents here. We'll be seeing Paralysis on Sylvanas. And of course, we got some minion blocking over here.
Fancy. Look at this fancy play. And Knight takes pawn, so no block for Johanna like we were seeing earlier. Mana Addict was going to be great for Kael'thas. He can be in those rotations between the two lanes and try to get those stacked up so we can start to get the Arcane Barrier. And look how fast the help from Sylvanas allows Naventic to clear up that lane so that they can start to get into their lanes and the rotations.
I love this aggressive positioning from Zuno to try and slow down the rotations from Cloud9. They're getting full control of the rotations right out the gate. Like you said, this is really well played start here from Naventic. Now let's see if they can keep that momentum going here, as King Caffeine playing very passive here with Joanna, not willing to dive them, which is smart. Really good wave clear with these guys on the end of Naventic. A lot of damage going on the Kenna. He does have the Radiant dash back. Take a looking at the bottom lane, iDream versus McIntyre. Both players playing this very passively.
Yeah, knowing that at any point someone can rotate in and make it a 2v1. Not wanting to let the lane push too far away from you because of that. So being very cautious in what they throw out in damage, allowing them to go back and forth. But meanwhile, this continues as Zuna is going to come up. Arslan tries to catch him with the gravity lapse, but does miss. And this will continue, just going back and forth. This might be a good positioning, though, for Cloud9 to catch somebody in this rotation as they're coming through. But Fan, he always has his oracles to be able to spot out if something like that's going to happen.
Well, let's see here what Cloud9 wants to do to try and get the advantage here. Whenever you control the rotations, you control the turn-ins, and Cloud9 needs that. Gravity Lapse comes down. Iron Skin Pod very early here from King Caffeine. Using it to have to survive. He's going to go ahead and Kai it back in the bottom. iDream and McIntyre still just patiently waiting, not overextending at all. McIntyre slowly out pushing the iDream. Just going to start consuming tower shots. So if they do get that first turn in, of course, Web Weavers will be slightly more impactful if those towers have no ammo.
This will continue 32-30, so both teams holding on to their gems, playing with respect for the other team, not getting overly aggressive here, just trying to collect the gems and control both of those turn-in points. And if they can do that, they can start to get some of those gems turned in. As it's nice for Naventic that they have Tassadar with Oracle, now with Mental Acuity too. They have a little bit more vision to be able to keep track of one of the turn-in points, but there's no Zagara, so there's no fear of the creep tumors overrunning the place too for either team.
Yeah. Level 5 here first for Naventic. Again, you can see the power of just controlling rotations. They're already at 43 gems, about the same as Cloud9, but at any point they can try and get a turn in while Cloud9 is playing cleanup here. Cloud9's doing a great job, though. King Caffeine being very aggressive with Joanna in these positions. Zuna going to rotate back up here. Both teams almost have enough gems for a turn in here. K1 Pro taking some light poke down to half HP. Good job from Naventic for that. McIntyre sneaking in 14 gems down here. It's going to be the first gems we've had turn in this game.
Yeah, I like that they're just pacing it out. They know that they've got the control of this. So they don't have to try to get such an early Web Weaver phase. They can just slowly get the gems turned in where they need to and wait until they've brought down those towers faster so that they can use Sylvanas to her full potential and to get more out of that Web Weaver phase. But 43 now in, so they're looking to start that off. Also, they are both neck and neck in experience, so they're about to get level 7.
Halting wave used from Big Impact to Kai back. He is very low. 7 gems needed to be turned in here for Naventic to get that. K1 Pro taking a lot of damage. Does have to barrel roll over the wall. Kemma going to Radiant Dash out of there. iDream turning in his gems, 21 to 43. Only 7 more needed from Naventic. They've got 2 on McIntyre. Needs a few more waves until he can get a turn in by himself. Cloud9 still struggling to get the advantage in these rotations. They have a lot of gems. They're sitting on 47 right now. Both teams clearly have enough for a turn-in. Still no first blood on either way, or either end. McIntyre getting poked pretty low down here, and King Caffeine's going to sneak in 32. Is that going to be the turn-in for them?
Wow.
Yes, Cloud9 sneaks in the turn-in.
So that will help them a lot with the pressure they've been taking on their structures, and Arthlon doing a good job of helping the minions push out so that the web weavers get just a little bit closer to the towers. We'll see how much they can get done here, as these can be cleared up very quickly still from Naventic. So we'll see how much they can do. In the mid lane, it's just going to spawn at their gate too, so that's going to be the one that needs the most help to get to the structures. iDream soaking in the bottom with that web weaver too. And the top one is the furthest push, so that's going to get the faster response from Naventic to clear up first. Meanwhile, the bulk of Cloud9 is in the mid.
Well, you do have the claps down here. King Caffeine pops Iron Skin very early, is going to kite back. Front wall almost down here in mid as that one tower is just about to go down. Web Weaver about half HP in the bottom. iDream pushing very hard with that Web Weaver as well. McIntyre doing the best he can to clean it up. Good aggressive positioning from Zuna and Fan to try and force Cloud9 back. And despite this Web Weaver turn in, Cloud9 got no experience advantage out of this.
No. They got 2 towers, I think. The bottom one was successfully stopped before it took out the bottom tower. Although with just a little bit more push, they should be able to get that one. But Thrall gets taken out. A big collapse from Cloud9, and that will be first blood on Thrall.
Sylvan's trying to get the gems turned in. Will King Caffeine scout out in time? No, he does not. First Web Weavers of the game for Naventic, 2nd overall. And you have to keep in mind that Naventic has a Sylvanas with the Web Weaver, so can easily be made more impactful than what Cloud9 got. Cloud9's going to have to play very smart around Big Impact to make sure he does not get value. With the push, Falstead flies in, phase shift used on a Fan. Garlap's not going to connect. Zuna here looking for the stun on Arthlon and does end up connecting it. Arthlon's going to be just fine though. And the Web Weavers are pushing. Both teams going to be trying to get much value here. And there you go, Big Impact just pushing mid with Sylvanas.
Fan soaking top, Thrall in the bottom, the other 3 here in the mid to help this Web Weaver along. Big Impact taking out the wall to make sure they have an easier escape route, and now using the black arrows to stop this fort from helping the defense here. Now there's 1 member each from Cloud9 in the other 2 lanes to try to make sure they can continue with the soak, but with the more value that Naventic got out of that, the towers that they've taken down earlier on even too, just being able to control the lanes, that's heroic abilities for them in Cloud9. They just had to back off from that, and that is going to be Naventic getting much more out of their own Web Weavers than Cloud9 did.
This is why when Cloud9's 2nd rotation came around before the mid-tier bans, I said they should have picked up Rhaegar Sylvanas. They went with Rhaegar Sonya. Sylvanas is just so good on this map. Look how much value she's gotten with their first 2 Web Weaver. Almost getting 2 force out of it. Mighty Gust has been used. K1 Pro in an awkward spot. Barrel Roll is down. Sundering comes in. K1 Pro in a lot of trouble. Ancestral has to be used here. Keeps him alive. Wailing Arrow comes out as well. Gravity Lapse again from Arthlon, not connecting with anyone. And it looks like everyone in Naventic is going to be able to disengage. A lot of heroics used on both ends. Actually, all 5 heroics for Cloud9 were used. Still Avatar and 7-sided strikes. And it was 7-sided strikes, so really cool. I'm glad Kenma is trying to change this playstyle here. If you're not used to playing against round 7-sided strikes, it can do a lot of damage to you.
Yeah, and there are several people who might be out, just like we see Sonya here. A perfect force wall into 7-sided strike, and iDream is crazy low with the final auto attack for Fan, finishing off Sonya. They grab the gems, so at least they don't lose those gems. But the combination from Force Wall and 7-sided strike is going to be terrifying for the members of Cloud9.
That's going to be another turn in here for Naventic. I mean, they're up a full level right now. They've got Web Weavers pushing again. They've got the Sylvanas with it. I mean, this should be guaranteed top fort. Potentially damage elsewhere. This will get Naventic level 13. Cloud9's going to be on the back foot for a while now. And I'm curious to see how they're going to try and force their way back into this game. Web Weavers are coming in. It looks like Naventic's going to try and maintain 3-lane soak.
Yep. They have Murden in the bottom. Sylvanas is up top. They know that that is a good place for them to try to get in the fight. Sundering came out, as did 7-sided strike.
That was an efficient Sundering.
Yeah.
Kenma getting hit by the Blessed Shield. Is he in trouble? He might go down. Radiant Dash at the last second going to get him out of there. Everyone on the end of Cloud9 was just so low. And they're all behind the wall. Same time, iDream is clearing up mid. Bottom is free pushing on its own. Where did Zuna end up going? Did he rotate up here?
Yes,
where is he? Okay, oh, there he is. I don't know why I couldn't see him for some reason. Savant's W spreading between all of the members of Cloud9, just slowly poking them down. This is going to be the last fort here for Cloud9, potentially going down. They do clean up the web weavers, but the push is here, and yep, that's going to be the third and final fort. That gives Naventic 13. They got 2-level lead over Cloud9. They've got like a huge structure advantage, and now Cloud9's in a situation where they're going to be struggling to push out waves constantly, and Naventic should be able to just control the map, and they've already got 51 gems, Gilly. They can almost get a third turn in already.
That is crazy. They just haven't lost any gems. They've been playing this out so well. Cloud9 now have this difficult spot where they have to choose if they want to fight in 12 to 13 with 87 gems being held. If they lose those, that's going to be devastating for them. But what else can they do if they just continue to just keep giving over these web weaver phases? What's next? A bunch of keep towers, a keep, and then all of a sudden it's 16-13. So Cloud9 are in a pretty tough spot here that Naventic have put them in.
Yeah, and Naventic's almost got enough for a turn. Once Suna cleans this wave and gets those gems, that's a turn in for Naventic. That's the third in a row. And look how far back Cloud9 is. They can't contest this. I like this call here from Naventic to start this boss. Suna is going to go ahead and scout this out. Arthlon and King Caffeine are rotating up to scout it. Will they get there in time, though? They actually are thinking there's going to be a turn in here. As the way this zoning positioning from Suna is throwing off Cloud9 hard, and they're going to get the boss.
Oh my goodness, the boss is free. They have enough gems to get a turn in. Just enough.
Yeah, just enough. They have the exact amount when Suna gets this turn in here. Cloud9's dealing with this boss. Kenma is pushing with it. So that Cloud9 is in an awkward spot because now the web weaver in top lane is going to spawn at their keep. The front wall is going to take a little bit of damage from the boss. Shouldn't take too much as it's still early in the game, only 11.5 minutes in. But Sylvanas helping out a lot here. Idrim getting stunned out just briefly. But here comes those web weavers from Naventic. It's just 3 in a row, Gilly. And, I mean, this just shows you how important the draft is on this map. Look how one-sided it feels for Naventic right now. The kills are 1-1.
Yeah.
Sylvanas is having an insane impact on this game, and the draft from Naventic with how rotationally heavy it is just controlling this game without them needing to get a single kill.
Cloud9 had good single targeted damage, and they were able to take out the boss pretty quickly, but still, I love that you said that it really was just buying time so that the web weaver could spawn right on top of this keep. They're having a hard time getting Sylvanas onto the keep, though. They really not feeling comfortable letting her go in too far to be able to turn the keep off. And that means that Cloud9 are going to keep that keep alive, which is really great for them. That's losing a keep would have just been so detrimental to them at this stage in the game. They're still behind, make no mistake, but they know that they need to make something happen here before they get Naventic to 16, but they also have to clear out all of the push in their lanes.
So this is good for Cloud9. They didn't lose a keep.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, is they didn't lose a keep. Top still standing. Mid still has most of its wall. Bottom might get a little bit of wall damage here. Depends on how much they can do with the Sylvanas push right now. So that's good for Cloud9 in that sense. The bad thing is it's now 16 versus 14. And that's a long road until they're on the same talent tier. And this is a very impactful tier for Naventic. They get a lot of really powerful talents. The damage amplification from Cold Embrace. Murden becomes impossible to kill. And so does Tassadar. Karazium gets better heals. I mean, this is just such a huge position to be in. And Cloud9 has 120 gems.
Oh, Arthlon and K1
K1.
Pro. The Thunder is going to come out. 7-sided strike deals a bunch of damage to Arthlon. He's trying to use his shield to stay alive. Here comes the rest of the team. And Arthlon eliminated from this. What I was going to say is the nice thing for Cloud9 is at least Naventic are a long way off from a turn-in. The boss isn't available. All they can do is go after bruisers and giants and then try to keep hunting down gems in whatever lanes start to get pushed back toward them. But you're right, it's still a tough spot to be in, but at least there's nothing huge for a little while that can make it even game-ending.
Yeah. They're just going to have to find a way to... I mean, luckily for them, Naventic's got so many gems they need to get, so 36 total. And because the waves are so far pushed up, it's hard for Naventic to safely farm gems.
Yeah.
So it's a long road to them, but... so this allows Cloud9 to slowly soak, which is what they're doing. You're seeing King Caffeine slowly soaking top. See Arthlon and Idrim slowly soaking mid, and bottom will be soakable soon as Kenma keeps pushing this wave, and especially with the mercs. I killed that fly. I just punched my wall.
So proud of you.
And I got him. Team, I did it.
Zoia 1, fly 0.
I hurt my hand, though. I punched the wall a little hard, but I got the fly.
You hurt your hand, you broke your toe, you were having problems, but you took care of the fly infestation.
Eat that, KO.
Cloud9 are now having to deal with the siege in the bottom lane. They still don't have 16, but they're clean up super fast. Thanks to a great condemn from King Caffeine to let iDream and Arthlon do their thing. They're almost there, Zoia. They have almost grabbed their 16 talents.
Almost.
But go ahead.
They're still in a good spot. I mean, Naventic still needs 11 gems until they can get a turn-in. Yes, they're down a full level and a half, but now they can contest soon. They can contest soon, and you know, if they can somehow win a fight, they need to win a fight, and then that snowballs into potentially 3 turn-ins in a row, which is exactly what they want. I like this decision-making, though. Make Cloud9 defend against the Bruisers while you push the keep bottom. And here they go. This should be a free keep for Naventic. That was a great shot call from Zuna.
Keep is going down super fast.
Ooh, the Gust is there, though, from K1 Pro. Oh, are they willing to commit? They do have 16. A lot of hesitance on the end of Cloud9. Gravity Left only connects with Kenma. He takes a lot of damage. There's 7-sided strike. Iron Skin's been popped by Joanna. And Cloud9's just still so afraid to commit.
Yeah, they have a ton of gems. They have 128 gems. And meanwhile, the Psionic Storm dismounting the team, allowing Naventic to disengage from this. And now the boss is back up, and members of Naventic are starting to turn in. They have 61 out of the 65. They need 18 go into the bank, but Cloud9 have had enough. They're starting to turn in their own gems. They may have to get into a fight over it, though, because Naventic are not just going to let them have this for free. They want to maintain control over those lanes.
Well, Sunder comes out, clumping everyone up. iDream in a bad spot. Nice wailing arrow, and Dream's going to go down. Zuna diving in deep into the backline, chasing Arthlon. Does he have the Storm Bolt to light up? He does, but he ends up missing it. Big Impact with the Haunting Wave going forward, trying to catch up to the Arthlon. There is the Gust, but it misses Big Impact. Doesn't seem to matter. They're going to disengage there. They did lose a decent amount of gems, I believe 20-something from iDream. They still have 96 available, though, but they're going to be able to get this key.
Man, that wailing arrow from Biggie was sick.
Yes, it was.
It's so tough to try to fight in those small corridors because anything area like that is going to get so much good value. Zuna dwarf tossing away to make sure he doesn't get hit by the gravity lapse. And that was one time where Cloud9 wanted to get into the fight. That was their time, and they didn't get it. They lost some gems. There's no 20 yet from Naventic, but still, that is a web weaver phase for them again. And, man, they could easily win off of this.
Yeah, this could be bad. If Naventic wins a fight, we're still very low on the kill counts. Both teams respect each other and are playing very safe, but it's still a very scary situation for Cloud9. We'll see how much damage they can get with this push. Bottom Web Weaver still has a decent ways to go. His mini wave was starting to get pushed out. Top as well, but both those keeps are exposed.
Yeah, and low, especially in the
Sunray
bottom.
comes out. They catch Arthlon in a bad spot. Nice cleanse coming out from Dunk Train, though, making sure he did not get caught. And Web Weaver in mid is being cleared up very fast. This is good for Cloud9 so far. Oh, that force wall. 7-sided strike, and then Cecil doesn't connect.
Oh, Johanna goes down just in the nick of time, even wailing arrow to make sure they can burst Johanna down before Ancestral keeps her alive. And this is going from tough to worse for Cloud9 because the bottom and the top web weavers are at the keeps. The top falling rapidly, bringing Sonya up here just to try to save it, and it won't even be saved, and that allows Naventic to push in. They have level 20. They bring down the mid keep so fast too. Bottom is gone. No keeps remaining for Cloud9, and Naventic still with 15 seconds before they're even facing a full team from Cloud9.
I mean, that's 3 keeps down, Gilly.
Yeah.
And 20 tier. We'll see if Naventic's willing to hard commit to the core. Joanna is up in 4 seconds. iDream taking a little bit of damage here. They get the damage onto Arthlon. The Gust and Cleanse have been used. King Caffeine coming in. Spear from iDream does not connect. 7-sided goes down. iDream taking a decent amount of damage. They're going for the chase here. Cloud9 knows this is their only chance they have. They need to try and wipe Naventic right now, as there's no way they're going to be able to get out on the map for a turn-in. Not with 3 lanes of catapults just shoving them in. They've already got catapults down top. They've already got catapults down bottom. And yes, Naventic has a long way to go until they have gems, but they have 20 versus 18. And they can get this boss.
Yeah,
a 20-minute boss will go core and end the game.
Yeah, they just go get the boss, force Cloud9 to come fight them there without their Storm talents. make Cloud9 go into a checkmate situation. And here they go. They're going to even find people out before that as the Storm Bolt into Sundering, into the Force Wall, and Dunk Train just trying to get back into position for his team. And the fight will continue to go in as King Caffeine goes in with the Blessed Shield. And Dwarf Toss will save Zuna. There is a Gravity Lapse onto Tassadar, who's going to be able to dimensional shift away. Seven-sided strike, not hitting very much.
This is the time for Cloud9 to fight. That was Wailing Arrow and Sundering not getting much value there. That's going to be the death of McIntyre. He gets the bolt back. Zuna taking a lot of damage. I don't think he has Dwarf Toss up. Hardened Shield has been popped. King Caffeine turning around to try and help his teammates get the kill onto Zuna. He's trying to run back as well as he can. It's just so hard for them to secure these kills. They just lack of focus fire on the end of Cloud9. And look, Gilly, 2 catapults on core from bottom. Mid lane as well. Taking catapults starting to move into core. I mean, it may look like Naventic is losing the fight. Cloud9 starting to gain ground, but the longer these fights go on, the more damage Cloud9 core is going to take. They do catch Arthlon out of position. The Ancestral is there. Can they turn this around? Gravity Lapse does end up missing.
I love the Storm Bolt with the follow-up from the Earthgrass Totem. It almost worked. It at least got Ancestral healing. And iDream is crazy low. Sonya falls down. And only 4 people remaining to try to defend this. Naventic know it. They're going after King Caffeine. A 7-sided strike will secure that kill too.
King Caffeine down, core already taking damage. They're going for the kill here, Gilly. And there's only one way to describe this game. Cloud9 got outdrafted harder than they've ever been outdrafted. Naventic won this draft so hard on this map. 60% big impact hit to Sylvanas is what lost them that game. Cloud9 just got outdrafted so hard. It's 6 kills to 2. For the longest time, it was 1 kill to 1. GG, guys. Naventic taking game number 1, and they had that draft won so hard. Teams, if Zul is not available, if you're not willing to run Zul, you need to pick up Sylvanas early, or you need to ban her out. That Sylvanas pick, mixed in with the nice play from the 7-sided strikes, but mainly the Sylvanas pick. I think it was a disastrous mistake from Cloud9 to pick the Sonya when they did over the Sylvanas. Letting big impact get the Sylvanas is what lost them that game. Cloud9 just got outdrafted so hard. It's 6 kills to 2. For the longest time, it was 1 kill to 1. That wasn't because of
all their forts, at 1 versus 1.
Yeah, at 1 versus 1. That wasn't just because of mechanical misplays or lack of aggression or anything.
Which is obvious, but hero damage.
Yeah.
This is the new Sylvanas.
Yeah, she's got insane wave clear, no matter what build you use. Process 1 helps, so it allows you to control rotation so well. And then you just get... Sylvanas trait is insane on maps where you have summonable objectives.
Right.
Battlefield of Eternity, Infernal Shrines, Tomb of the Spider Queen, where it just... You take a look at a Web Weaver turn-in with Sylvanas and then without Sylvanas, and it's night and day. That hero is insane on maps like this.
Yep, it's the difference.
You take a look at a Web Weaver turn-in with Sylvanas and then without Sylvanas, and it's night and day. That hero is insane on maps like this.
Yep, it's the difference between a fort on your first turn-in and just a couple of towers. It is really crazy. Well, that will be GG's game number 1 going to Naventic handily. And that was Naventic's Battleground pick. So next we'll have Cloud9 picking the Battleground. We'll see where they choose to make their final stand. So guys, we're going to take a break while we set that game up. We'll see you soon. Hey guys, we are back and ready for game number 2 between Cloud9 and Naventic. The draft has started already. And I messed up trying to hop over to it. But there we go.
Nice.
Yes.
First pick, first ban, going over to Naventic, as this is Cloud9's map pick. They do like their cursed hollow. Naventic going to deny the Kel'Thas. Cloud9 going to deny the Li Ming. Potentially. And they do. Naventic with their first pick, first ban. Who will it be? It'll be the Illidan.
Here we go.
Which last time we cast Illidan on this map was the game Guster Bust beat Naventic. Where Equinox had Illidan himself. Cloud9 with their next 2 picks. They got a lot on the table here.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go ahead and lock in the Sonya. Will be Sonya Tassadar.
Yeah,
I mean, Sonya pairs so well with Tassadar. It also denies the Tassadar from the Illidan.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. To get both of those. Steal the Tassadar away.
Sonya does so well versus Illidan as well, too. So it's just like a good pick there. Denies them a pick.
Okay, so the Sonya's been locked in. And now we see if they want to pair the Tassadar with it.
Tassadar will be picked up here by Cloud9. There is an argument for Thrall, depending on what they want to do. Okay.
What about Falstad?
Not sure I like it. Falstad, this is arguably Falstad's best map, as a Mighty Gust controlling points. But now Naventic can go like Tass Tyrael, Tass Rhaegar.
Yeah. Do you think if they went Tass Rhaegar, Cloud9 would ban Tyrael? Like,
I think so.
Is that bannable?
Yeah.
Like to that level?
Maybe they'd ban a damage dealer then too. I don't think they should go. It's such a tough call to make. I like Tasmura.
Okay.
Because when it comes to the support, Tassadar's the only one they should lock in here. When it comes to Rhaegar, Uther, and Brightwing, and Karazim, all 4 of those can support the Illidan well enough. So like locking in one of those is not necessary now that I think about it. But going for the Merlin is great because it denies Cloud9 Merlin, and you get yourself someone that can keep up with Illidan. Yeah,
Tassadar relieves the stress of making sure you have the right support with them. So I agree. I love that. Cloud9 with the ban now. Who do we see banned from them? Before we've seen Sylvanas and Illidan together. That was the composition that was really good. They could also ban Tyrande since they've already shown Tassadar. And if they want to keep Naventic from also having the Miranda combo, or even a support, if they want to ban Rhaegar and then pick Uther or vice versa in the next pick phase. We've got a lot of options.
Well, they're thinking hard on this ban. They're gonna go with the Greymane ban. I don't know.
They're still thinking.
They're still thinking. I don't know how I feel about Greymane. I like the Karazim ban. I like the Karazim ban a lot. It's something that it's too difficult. I know this is gonna sound weird, but it's difficult to adapt to mid-series. Is the new style that Ken was playing. I know it's an old style, but 7-sided strike is really interesting. And I like that Ken was playing it. And if Cloud9's not comfortable playing against it right away, it is something you have to adjust to, adapt to. And if that's what Cloud9's thinking is, so there's nothing wrong with banning Karazim there. It's like, you know what, we don't want to risk, because there were some money 7-sideds that game that killed both Joanna and Sonya at very pivotal moments. So
now Cloud9 are considering getting Rhaegar as their support. Still will need their warrior. But ETC was banned, so it won't be ETC.
The Tyrael deny.
Yeah.
Case Naventic did want to go double warrior. So now I'm curious as to what Cloud9's comp will be. Will they last pick the Thrall? They've done this before, and they put K1 Pro on Tyrael, and they put King Caffeine on Thrall. And it's going to be the Tyrael. I'm curious if that's what they're going to do.
Well, now Sylvanas is getting picked up by Naventic. I believe it was Gust or Bust who ran the Sylvanas with the Illidan on this map, and it was really good. Yeah, it was. But they also had Tronda and Tyrael.
Well, Sylvanas going to be picked up here. I think, from what I've seen in Gold League, very often, if MVP Black or E-Star get Illidan, they pair it with Sylvanas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good. Sylvanas complements the areas that Illidan doesn't. Illidan complements the areas that Sylvanas doesn't. And this is what I was talking about. We're speculating those picks on the supports. They had so many options: Kharazim, Rhaegar, Uther, Brightwing. They had 4 things they could have paired. Get out of here, B-Kid. All right, Cloud9.
Yeah, you know what I really like about Sylvanas Illidan too is she turns off the structures.
Get your shit out of here, Cloud9. What is this?
She turns off the structure so he can feel freer to dive behind them to secure a kill. Because we already see that from Illidan's anyway, but sometimes you pay for it with your life. And with Sylvanas, I love that combination of them. Hey, Zoia.
Cloud9 walking in with their big shoes and their red, shiny noses that go honk honk. iDream's pulling cloth out of his mouth that just never seems to end. We got a clown show here, boys. Cloud9 in full effect.
I only hear that Cloud9 are ready for adventure. There is something about Lily, Zoia. There's something there.
I would say that this draft is better than the one Gust or Bust did versus Naventic. That is for sure. Okay, well, we're about to find out, guys. This is game number 2, Naventic versus Cloud9. Naventic on match point here. Just for an update on the other stream, they're in their final game right now as Panda Global and Cognitive are tied 1-1.
Okay. Dang, that's crazy. I can't wait to watch that series, but I can't wait to view this as well. Lily, who will be played by Arthalon. King Caffeine will be on that Tyrael, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, with the only time you've seen Key Caffeine not on Tyrael is when they have the Thrall. But here we go on the left-hand side of the map. In the blue trunks, it's going to be Cloud9, Dunk Train on Rhaegar, K1 Pro on Falstad, King Caffeine on Tyrael, and wow, that's Tint and Mount looks cool together.
Yeah.
I've Sonya and Arthalon playing the Lily.
And in the red is Naventic. Kenma will be playing Brightwing. Big impact, likely on Sylvanas. There we go. Fan playing Tassadar, McIntyre on Illidan, and finally Zuno will be playing Muradin.
Well, let's see here how this is going to go for these two teams. Both sides have a global. So they do have the ability to exploit experience. A lot of sustain on the end of Cloud9. Sonya's got great sustain. They got triple support, essentially, as Tyrael shields.
They're rotating down, but it's up top where Naventic are. Seeing them at the watchtower is going to have them move up really fast, but that will be one tower going down. K1 Pro is going to fly in. They should be able to all move away from this, but they still did take one tower out.
So just a slight lead there. Sonya going to be soaking mid, rotating down to lane against the Illidan. McIntyre's safely soaking as well as he can. And the contention's still up here in the top. Big Impact doing the best he can to siege here. K1 Pro, King Caffeine, and Dunk Train going to be struggling to deal with this.
Yeah, and I like that Brightwing's up here too, but if at any moment Brightwing needs to come in to help Illidan, if they see a favorable spot, they can do that. And you see Muradin starting to rotate to that bottom lane, so they know that they can bring Brightwing in for the phase shift with the polymorph if they need to be able to take out Sonya. And there she goes, she's in the bottom lane. Sonya might be in trouble.
iDream just spins for days. You're dead.
And that'll be first blood for Team Naventic. We're going to send McIntyre back, but that's always the power of Brightwing, her ability to phase shift in. Even Falstad can't quite fly the entire length of the map. He has to get into the range of it, but range is very big for him for that at least. And it'll be, like you said, global versus global for this game.
Yeah, Arthalon versus Kenma here in the bottom. King Caffeine doing the best he can, and Tyrael can trade really well. in a 1v1 scenario with the shields, with his poke. As long as no one else shows up, like Zuna is now, King Caffeine can bully Big Impact to force him back, and that's what he's doing right now. Level 4 almost here for Naventic, and a very early Bruiser camp being taken here by Cloud9. Sea Giants being worked on by McIntyre.
Yep, both teams just wanting to have that mercenary presence in the lane as the first tribute starts to spawn. We have level 4 talents for each side. We have Unstable Anomaly once again for Brightwing. Full Cloud Serpent build yet again for Lily. Damage Lily, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going double support, that's what you're going to see most of the time here. It looks like the tribute will be spawning in the bottom. We'll see how many players from each side are going to contest. Unfortunately, this is the worst spot spawning for Kenma, as he can't, abuse the global top and then teleport in at the last second if needed. But it looks like everyone is rotating, and Cloud9 is getting some value here with those bruisers in the mid. And they're catching a fall stat out of here, but he's going to phase shift back. Stun goes down onto K1 Pro. Polymorph as well as the follow-up. Kenma's very far forward. Big spin from iDream. No polymorph up because it was used onto K1 Pro. McIntyre going for the cap here. Do they have the interrupt for it? Outer's Might goes over the wall. And that's going to delay it for now. We do see that Brightwing, it does teleport back to base to just get topped off on mana and HP. Is already back in the fight.
Those Giants have been able to take out the towers, so this is really good for them. Either way, they can pull apart the members of Cloud9. K1 Pro getting caught, taking a lot of damage, and has to barrel roll over the wall. And I love the way that Naventic played this, either getting the towers or the tribute, potentially both, if they can zone out the members of Cloud9 just a little bit longer. Kenma will grab that tribute, and great play from Naventic that tribute phase.
Yeah, using those Siege Giants as well as rotating Big Impact down to make them get more value. Helped get that front wall, distracted Cloud9 long enough that they had to rotate down to deal with it, and that allowed them to get the cap. Same time, those Bruisers got decent value. They were able to get the towers to half HP, but not getting them any experience. So we do see that Naventic still maintaining about half level lead right now.
Illidan has started working on the Bruisers, again making sure that they have some pressure while the next tribute phase is spawning. And with Big Impact up against both King Caffeine and K1 Pro, they're just going to get pushed back into their base. K1 Pro doing what we saw Brightwing do before, going back into base to make sure that he is fresh and ready for the next tribute fight. But the experience is starting to go ahead for Naventic as they've picked up their level 7 talents. Cloud9 will have them for the next fight though for sure too.
Again, seeing Unstable Anomaly from Brightwing. Peekaboo sometimes is justified when there's non-stealther there. You'll always see it if there's like a Zeratul in the game. But I don't think you're going to get much value out of Peekaboo this game. As you'll usually just have, especially when you already have the Task Star. The Oracle's enough as is. Second tribute is spawning up here. Naventic already in the better position since most of their players are in the mid. And this is great spawning here for Kenma, as he's able to, again, abuse this global and teleport in at the last second. Looks like Cloud9's not even going to contest it. Falstad not even going to be near and close, so that's going to be second tribute going over to Naventic, as they still maintain this full level lead. And they're one tribute away, Gilly, from having a curse.
Yeah, they have a very big advantage here, because if they keep this up, if they can have their heroic abilities in time for the next tribute, and Cloud9 aren't there, then that would be huge for them. Pretty much a free curse, but we'll see how those get there, as there's still a little time before we get to that point. Lots of rotations for both of the teams, just keeping an eye on each other where they can. And Brightwing, looks like Muradin and potentially Tastar all coming down into the bottom if they need to help with that pressure from Lily and Sonia. But yes, still advantage for Naventic, with Illidan and Tyrael hanging out up in the top. Big Impact, though, is going to be in trouble, haunting waves back to his towers.
Going over the Lily build here, it's going to be Timeless Creature at level 1, Mending Serpent, and then Lightning Serpent picked up from Lily, which I think is the standard Lily build right now when it is in a duo support style. And we'll see here. We'll keep an eye on how much value that Arthon can get with this Lily. If we take a look at the hero damage, Lily is on top for her team because of the just constant poke. The tickle monster from her abilities just slowly builds up over time. And we do see Naventic having advantage with the heroics.
Right.
Still about a quarter level until Cloud9 has it. And they can't contest. They have to give it up.
Yeah,
that's going to be a very early curse.
They don't have really people in position for this at all, so instead they're getting their bruisers to help with the lane push. In the bottom, Sonia and Lily immediately knowing that they couldn't do anything about this, are pushing in the structures as much as they could and they pick up their heroic abilities. And we see Water Dragon in Ancestral Healing still for Rhaegar. Everything else super normal for them, and same on the side of Naventic. The first 4 of this curse will go down, and this is a good position for Naventic. They take that down pretty early on. There's still 42 seconds left in this curse, and they have some options for what they want to do next.
We'll see what the Naventic can get experience-wise with this tribute. They've already got the top fort down. Kenma doing the best he can to soak bottom. He has to soak safely since the Zoia is nearby. Cloud9's on a full defensive right now. You have to keep in mind that Water Dragon can get some value in this game, especially if Illidan is deep without Zuna by him, without Fan with him. So if they do catch McIntyre isolated, Water Dragon can do some serious damage. But this is looking like a triple fort situation, Gilly, and that's going to put Naventic up 2 full levels as they're just about to hit level 13.
Yeah.
Naventic is in an extremely powerful spot right now.
Yeah, they've been doing a really great job with their rotations and with making sure they always have someone in lane. And they got a lot out of getting the towers in the bottom to get ahead with that first tribute, and also keeping Brightwing in the lane the entire time to be able to soak up because of the good defensible position for the second tribute too. So this is really great for them. They're almost 13, and they're going to grab their boss. But Cloud9 realize that that's where they're going to be, and they're going to make sure that they don't get 2 bosses by picking up the one at least on Cloud9's side.
Boss for a boss. Looks like Naventic is wanting to push with this. That's why Zuna's so aggressively pushed forward to start working on ammo, start getting as much free damage as he can. And guys, it's 13 versus 11, so you got a talent tier advantage as well as having Sylvanas. And we've already seen what Sylvanas can do with her push.
Yeah, and it's a boss on keep structures versus a boss on the fort. So they would love to do that anyway, let alone that they have a Sylvanas. Besides the fact that Brightwing can teleport in if they need. This is just so great, really playing their comp to its maximum effectiveness. And these towers are going to go down really quickly, and it's even furthering the experience lead that they have.
Well, Mighty Gus does come out. Boss is still healthy, and McIntyre free kill. I guess they weren't expecting him to go in. Kenma not even going to try and phase shift in, as he does give the shield from that. Just a little bit of an overextension there from McIntyre. That's going to stop that push. It does get that keep wall down. Bottom fort does end up falling for Naventic, so this is going to get Cloud9 level 13 very soon. They're down about a full level right now. Kills 1-1, and both these games have been just very passive when it comes to the kills. We're almost 10 minutes in, and it's still very low on that count.
Yeah, just really focusing on rotations, taking out structures. On the side of Naventic, at least, for Cloud9, defending versus that structure damage. They did finally get the fort in the bottom at least, and now are on the same talent tier. But I love that Naventic is making sure to keep the pressure on. Brightwing has been pushing that bottom lane, and that's where the Giants will go toward the final fort remaining for Cloud9.
Yeah, Brightwing going to be able to get that down. Take a look at the hero damage. Sylvanas on top with 18,000. Second for Naventic is Brightwing. Kenma at 10k. Third is going to be Lily, played by Arthon, and then fourth is going to be Illidan. And no surprise. I mean, neither team has been willing to engage onto each other. It's just kind of this rotation war. Now, Cloud9 is first to this tribute here. Arthon going for the cap. Nice positioning from King Caffeine. So it looks like he's going to leap over the wall. Potentially Haunting Wave's actually going to interrupt it instead. Thought with the Brightwing teleported in, they're going to commit harder than that. And Cloud9's forced back. McIntyre going on to iDream here. He's taking a lot of damage. Junk Train coming forward. iDream has to spin. Kenma gets the cap. Another tribute going on over to Naventic. Wailing Arrow comes out. They catch Zoia in a bad spot. Do they have the damage to kill him? There comes the Sanctification. Judas in deep. Has to pop Avatar. McIntyre potentially looking for the flank. Mighty Gus comes up from K1 Pro. It looks like it's going to be a disengage here for both teams. Naventic going to be able to get some bruisers out of this. They already have bruisers from their own pushing mid. They have Giants pushing bottom. They need to clear up the Giants from Cloud9, but this is a huge win for Naventic. They get another tribute. They're about to have 16, and they might be trying to force a fight here. They don't have Sanctification up. All they have is Ancestral right now. If they can catch anyone.
It might be K1 Pro, but he does have barrel roll and can get back. They're still keeping the pressure on, especially because they have 16. And Kenma is in the bottom lane. Kenma has been doing such a beautiful job with the split soak. K1 Pro was doing it too, though. He was in the top lane for a long time with those Giants, but that harks back to the problem that I mentioned at the beginning with his global presence versus Brightwing's. Brightwing, yeah, you have to teleport into your teammate, but Falstad, it's not global completely. And so when he decided he needed to fly in, there was still a little bit of time where he had to just run down and then fly into his team. And in that amount of time, the zoning from Naventic helped them pick up that tribute. So now they are yet again in a position where they're about to get a curse. They're 16, and this is getting tougher and tougher for Cloud9.
Yeah, with all 3 forts down, with the timing of this next curse, the bosses will be up shortly after. So Naventic has the ability, if they do win this fight one-sidedly, to take bosses. And, I mean, Cloud9, again, just 2 games in a row, they just can't seem to do anything on the map. Naventic in just full control. 3 members showing top for Cloud9, 1 showing mid. Naventic already in position to take a curse. Sonya's not even rotating down. This looks just like 6 tributes in a row, all of them almost uncontested. I think 2 of them were fought by Cloud9. This is a second tribute in a curse in a row. This is looking really good for Naventic.
It is. Naventic, by the way, Kenma picked up Bouncy Dust on Brightwing, so they could share that Shield Dust ability, damage mitigation from that. And now the push, the siege begins with Brightwing on top. Giants are going to help try to stave that off as long as they can. Fan coming down for these 4 members on the bottom keep. And we'll see if they can take this.
Caffeine. Aldrin's Might not going off, so no holy ground. They do have 16. Sonya still hasn't picked his talent. Will be the Stone Skin, though, of course. Brightwing still pushing in top. Both bosses have spawn. Keep about half HP. They're going on K1 Pro. He's in a bad spot. There goes Gus. Holy Ground catching Zuna and McIntyre, though, forcing a very early metamorphosis. Brightwing is phase shifting in. Zuna having to pop. Avatar keeps just about to go down. Wailing Arrow comes out. Ancestral Healing going down on the Tyrael, and there's the Sanctification. And I think with that many heroics being used, that's everything down for Cloud9. Naventic can either just back out or keep stalling this out. Top is taking damage because of that push Brightwing did. It's about to be half HP. And they're just willing to keep poking this out as long as they don't take any serious damage. Everyone on the end of Naventic is still pretty healthy. Solas has to be careful, Haunting Waves back.
There's only Blink Heal available, though. They will have Force Wall soon, as it's popping up right now. And there comes Falstad with the aggressive fly. Big impact, getting hit by that Earthgrass Totem. And she gets to her Haunting Wave in time, but a great Holy Ground separates Big Impact. Water Dragon killing Sylvanas. And that will help Cloud9 finally keep the aggression from taking out their keep. But man, it is low. Their base it's been under siege quite a bit.
3 keeps are low. You got top that's exposed, about 3/4 HP. Bottom keeps a tickle from death. Middle is exposed. So if we get a situation where another curse goes over to Naventic, that's a pretty huge win for them, as they can easily get triple keep. Boss is already being worked on here despite not having the Sylvanas, with Sonya and Arthlon staying behind, with Falstad back in base. No way King Caffeine can contest this long enough. He can try. If Falstad flies in, he's got Gus. Still 8 seconds on Sylvanas. King Caffeine hit with a polymorph. Does have to pop Sanctification. Stun goes on the McIntyre. The rest of the team is rotating up. Falstad's flying in. Was this a mistake from Naventic? Is this going to be a boss throw potential here? Dwarf Toss has been used. The boss is last hit. Fan getting hit by a big stun. It's a root combo, but he gets the phase shift out. K1 Pro's on the point. Goes for the Gust, and wow, Naventic, terrible decision making to try and go for that boss.
The Water Dragon is going to hit Kenma, and he's slowed way down as K1 Pro and the boss, King Caffeine, and the rest coming in. Big impact with the save, letting Kenma blink heal to him. But still, there are other members that are in trouble. Ancestral Healing will help iDream as Zuna's going in with the Avatar. They want to win it right here, right now, knowing that they have bosses against them, hoping that they can catch Cloud9 over out of position, at least, as the Wheeling Arrow comes out. It's been a long day, but still no kills with this double support from Lily and Rhaegar. They've kept everyone alive until now, as iDream will fall.
They have to go for core here, and that's what the decision to fight there was so smart from Naventic. Cloud9 used every heroic that they had to secure that boss top. And that put them in a position where Naventic could just fight. Now, they don't decide to go core. with Sonya being dead. I thought they could get one more kill, but McIntyre decided to back off. They don't take any serious damage. They keep all their keeps. Clearly, it's serious damage is the fact that it's so low. But Fan is able to save top, bottom keep. They save top keep. So Naventic is still in a good spot. It's very much a more even game now, but the difference is 20 versus 18, Gilly.
Structurally, they've basically evened it out. There's one extra fort for Naventic, so that's really good. But yes, the 20 is a problem. And Cloud9 are doing what they can to stave off losing the game while Naventic has that great window. They've grabbed their bruisers. They can help these push. May even be able to get a fort off of it if they can look to that, but they don't want to get too aggressive. They'll have to give up another tribute, endless tributes to Naventic.
Well, this bruiser's going to be pushing mid lane. Any Merc camp that Naventic gets is just terrifying for Cloud9, as all their lanes are exposed keeps here. This is going to be a second tribute going on over to Naventic. That's 8 in a row, Gilly.
Yeah.
Not a single tribute has been won by Cloud9. Cloud9 says, you know what, who needs objectives? That's not what maps are for. Catching Zuna out of here. King Caffeine going to go ahead and dismount him. Kenma soaking top lane. Not for the experience, really just to make sure, that doesn't get too close to this keep wall.
Yeah, of course.
And they're going to try and pressure this mid lane. They do have the Sylvanas. They have Knights with it. And this is stalling out the other lanes. The longer they can stall out bottom to push in, the better it is for them.
Yeah, and it's more members of Cloud9 who are here in mid instead of out in all of the lanes trying to get the soak to 20. So it's just delaying that as long as they can too. So there's the siege damage down. iDream starting to go in. Dimensional shift pop for Fan. And there is the tribute. No 20 for Cloud9 as this spawns.
Terrifying. So Cloud9 has a scary decision to make. They can try and contest 19 versus 20, which is bad. They can go try and clear these bottom giants, which gives up the tribute. It's already being given up. This is 3 curses, 9 tributes in a row for Naventic. And look at this, another game. 19 minutes in, 2 kills to 2.
I know.
Sylvanas is ridiculous. Sylvanas is a ridiculous hero. This is going to be the first keep falling. Middle's about to go down. Top's probably going to go down because of the curse. Another situation where Naventic's going to have triple keep on Cloud9. Cloud9 needs to win a fight, go across the map through bottom, and win. That is their only chance. They need to win a fight here.
But they don't have 20, and if they lose people at this point, they'll lose the game. So they're playing for their lives.
It's the Gus.
Wailing Arrow hits Tyrael, and that could be the first kill in this game. There he will go down as this final keep will fall too. Archangel's Wrath not doing too much damage. They're trying to stay into this. They still have at least iDream up in the front, but every death puts Naventic closer to winning this game and the series.
Well, they've got 3 lanes of catapults coming in here, Gilly. They still have this curse for 15 seconds. Finally, Cloud9 hits level 20. They're going for the core. They're trying to get the kill on the McIntyre, but he's so tanky. The core is falling so fast, Gilly. They get the damage onto Brightwing, but is it enough? 70%. McIntyre pops to the Metamorphosis. I don't think it matters. Lily was ready for adventure, and I hope Cloud9 is ready for another adventure through the second qualifier because they are eliminated. Naventic going to be the first team to qualify for Burbank.
That was beautiful. Well done to you.
I thought of that. I thought of that from the moment that game started. If Cloud9 lost that line was being said from literally the moment this draft happened.
Well, GG's come out. Zuna's
3 kills to 3.
Yeah, I know. I
6
know, man.
kills to 2 in that last one.
I know. And Sylvanas.
Sylvanas is OP.
That wasn't even Tomb or Infernal or Battlefield of Eternity. That was just Cursed Hollow. They got 9 tributes in a row.
9 tributes in a row. 6 kills throughout a 20-minute game. 67,000 hero damage, 161,000 siege damage, guys. Start respecting Sylvanas. It is ridiculous. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. This has been the qualifier number 1 for the Burbank Regionals at the beginning of June. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I believe Gilly will not be able to cast the next one, which is this next Sunday. So we're still trying to figure out what's happening there. But it was a great tournament, and I had fun casting with you, Gilly.
Yeah, it was a fun casting with you, too. It was a great time. I don't know what is going on with the last. Looks like they're maybe still playing the last one, so we'll host Jake And you guys can enjoy the rest of that qualifier. Congratulations to Team Naventic for qualifying. Make sure you guys are following Heroes Esports. You can tweet using the hashtag HGC to find out more information about this tournament. You can also follow Zoya and myself, and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.